For the first time in my life, I'm really shaking.
The awful ending and heartbreaking death of Don Knotts and his wife. I didn't expect this story to feel this heavy. I mean, Don Knotts made people laugh for decades, so how does someone like that end up with a story this painful? That part stayed with me. Most people remember him as Barney Fife, nervous, loud, kind of chaotic, but in a funny way, like nothing could ever really touch him. But that image, it's only half the story. What surprised me is how much of his real life felt the exact opposite. Before all the fame, his childhood wasn't easy. From what I understand, there was a lot of instability at home, and I don't think he ever fully escaped that feeling. Even later, when everything looked successful on the outside, there was still anxiety underneath it. And I don't mean just a little stress, I mean constant worry, health fears, doubting himself, even when the whole country loved him. That's hard to wrap your head around. And then there's his relationship with his first wife, Catherine. She was there before any of the fame, before the recognition, before everything took off, which makes what happened later feel even heavier. Their marriage didn't last. They separated in the mid-60s, right around the time his career was peaking, and then, not long after that, she passed away. Young. I don't know. Something about that timing feels especially cruel, like just when life was changing so fast. He was hit with something permanent, and I keep thinking about what that must have felt like. Because no matter how far you go in life, there are some connections you don't really move on from. You just carry them differently. What also stuck with me is that even after success in films and later on television again, there always seemed to be this quiet weight in his life, like something unresolved. And then you look at his later years, health issues start to take over, his vision begins to fail, and eventually lung cancer. It slows everything down. By that point, he wasn't the same energetic performer people remembered. Life had caught up in a very real way, but he wasn't completely alone. He had someone by his side in those final years, his third wife, Frances. And from what I can tell, she brought a kind of stability he needed. Still, it doesn't erase everything that came before. That's the thing about stories like this. They're not clean. They don't wrap up neatly. He passed away in 2006 at 81. And when I think about it now, it's strange how someone who gave so much joy could have such a quiet, complicated ending. Not tragic in a loud, dramatic way, just heavy. And maybe that's what makes it hit harder. Because behind all the laughter people remember, there was a life that didn't always feel like a comedy. And I think once you see that, you can't really look at him the same way again.